So I guess on engagement, Daniel, you've started Gawler Street Art Community. We've been getting a really good groundswell, I believe. So what was the motivation? Why did you start that Facebook page? Why are we here doing this today?
It all sort of stemmed from when I started working in Adelaide and I'd see these sort of things, and they just blew my mind as far as how you guys come up with a picture on your phone and then you're drawing it big like this. And I guess I've always loved artwork, and I did always notice that every time I was looking at a piece like this, there was always someone around, have it taken a picture or just staring up at it. Every time a car drives past, they're all turning their neck and looking at it. And then when you get on the Facebook and the Instagram and look at the artist or the tags, they're all there. And then I just thought, well, Gawler should get something like this. Like, if we've got silo art out in the sticks, let's get something in Gawler. And saw Kyle's, blew my mind, and I thought we should get something big. We should maybe start a movement, have maybe a festival or a little hub, or just lots of street art, colour up the place, but also keeping the heritage of the town. Obviously not defacing a building like the NAB or the front of this building. And so I decided to create a page, basically to drum up engagement and see how keen people were. And straight away, people were just on it. We need something like this. We want something like this. And I thought that using my photography, it was a way of just letting people know exactly what's out there, what we can do, what we will do if it happens, and just step-by-step process, making it as easy for the public to understand what it's all about and what it can do for the town.
So when you see the comments, obviously on that page, you do see some great positive feedback. Let's be honest, 99% is
99, not 100.
Yeah,
we'll go 99%.
If you had 100, you'd be thinking something's wrong, But obviously the heritage theme you touched on, people are a little bit worried about street art and then saying, oh, that's just graffiti, leave our heritage buildings alone. Obviously they've missed the point of what you're trying to say. But how do you rebut that argument? Because we are a heritage-rich town, so that we're going to come across that.
Yeah, it's really hard. Obviously, with I guess a lot of the older people in town and who run businesses and are on council, that something like that might be considered graffiti, and that a mural, especially in a town like this, should only have something to do with the history of the town. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't 100% disagree with that. I think a historic mural for the town, or for any town, would be fantastic, but at the same time, whilst this may not have anything specific to do with Gawler, I just love looking at it. It's amazing. And I noticed you've got 2 little golden fleeces on there as well. So it's hard trying to explain to people why it shouldn't be all about farmers and cows and Aussie diggers and all that.
I think at the same time, we've got to be progressive. It can't all be about the history and the heritage of the town, because it's about now. And we've got to do things that bring us forward and make people interested. I mean, Kapunda have done a fantastic job, and that's all to do with their history. That's awesome for them, but I think here we need to be a bit more progressive, as long as the murals are to the highest standard and timeless at the same time. So it's something that someone's going to appreciate in 10 years time, 20 years time, if it's still there and something else hasn't been done after that. I think that's the sort of stuff we need.
I mean, the argument is this will be a historic piece in,
I don't know, I've come a long way since then. I've got other ideas for it.
We've got so much history here in Gawler, and we've got so much history as far as statues and plaques, books, songs, street names, all named after the pioneers of the town and even the state and the country. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket and have just a historic mural. I'd rather go something big and bold, something not necessarily bright and colourful, something big and bold, and then work our way towards something more historic, something that's got a story behind it.
I think there's there's a spot. I mean, you know, I've seen some of your concepts you've been putting up. I mean, the Brian one on the Finished Street car park, we got so many comments on that one.
And to me,
still to this
that is Gawler history.
Yep.
You know, Brian Marnie with the man with the dog with the blue heeler. You know, people I've shown in the Barossa and outside of Gawler, they know who that bloke is. They know that that's Gawler, or he used to be when he was walking around. So if we were to go big and bold or something crazy straight away, I think that might keep many people happy as far as being an awesome piece of artwork, but also having something to do with the town, having a story behind it as well, you know.
I think what you're doing with those mock-ups is fantastic, because until people actually see it, they don't get it.
That's the idea, yeah.
And like that, starting off with the Brian one, fantastic. So,
And I mean, the reason that was a low-lying fruit, I look at it from a council perspective, is that's a council asset. So we can turn around as a council and agree to give you that canvas to like bring something to life like that.
So I must admit, I was a bit skeptical about doing that post. The reason I picked that picture of Brian, it took a little bit of inspiration from your one at Port Wakefield. The guy with the beard, the lines on his face, you know. And then Brian came into mind, and I just stuck that picture on that building. I was probably a bit reluctant to post it up because I don't know, I'm not sure what people thought of him, but Nathan pushed me a little bit and said, get that up. And as soon as I did, bang, straight away. You know, almost 30,000 engagements on that. So that's likes, comments.
And putting him up there, that's like talking to people that have been in Gawler from the beginning, really. Like they've been around for a long time.
They all knew who it was straight away.
You're pulling on the local heartstrings.
Yeah, and then anyone new in Gawler is going to ask the question, who's that guy? Someone will be able to tell them, you know.
Yeah, that's right. So on the Port Wakefield one of the Rising Sun, obviously that was on a heritage building. So what did you come across with that? Speaking on heritage.
Well, initially the design we come up with was sort of interactive, with a massive blue swimmer crab and a guy standing there with a crabbing rake and a bucket, going, you know, holy, you know what, and it covered the whole building, including the coins around the windows and so on. So the council really didn't want the coins covered up, but in the end they didn't want that design and came up with the one that's there now. And we kept the coins all neatly masked off, and it actually makes the painting that much nicer. It actually
sort of frames it a bit.
Super classy, frames it out, and I've kept the colours fairly drawn out and a bit heritage as well. So that's going to be timeless as well. The sun hits it, so there's stuff we've got to be conscious of, is like the paint we use, etc., because if something's in direct sun for a long time or most of the day, that colours can fade. So I kind of went down that, you know, less colourful road, so that it would last, and you know, if some of the paint peels off the stonework and the mortar and stuff, that'll just add to it, to the character. So
How long did that piece take you, just out of interest? Give or take, obviously.
7 sort of half days and 2 really long days.
I thought you were going to say weeks.
Yeah, that's what I was, and I would have accepted weeks. So that makes sense.
And I won't tell you why, but we'll just go with the sun shining on the wall for a certain time of the day, which made it hard to look at.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So I had to wait until like there was at least a foot amount of shade, and then I could get into it.
And so when you were painting up something like that, did you have many locals obviously coming into the pub? Did they comment on it, or?
It definitely caused a stir locally, and then they're on the way to the local caravan park, so you get a lot of them stopping and having a look and a conversation. I think it definitely creates interest, and if you spoke to Dylan and Beck up there at the Rising Sun, you'd find that their visitation and just overall interest, even from a town perspective, people on the solo trails are even stopping in to see that.
So, cool. Of course.
So it's worked. So
they seem to have a real organic happening where people do stop in and have a bit more of a look, and even driving down the York Peninsula, I'm guilty of stopping and taking a picture of a silo, and I know you are. I was up there on
the weekend.
I mean, before that, I didn't even know there was a hotel in Port Wakefield. I imagine there was one, but I never had gone off. I just straight through to York.
Yeah, I've always just gone straight through, and then that one time that I did stop and have a look and came across your piece.
But
have
yeah,
you been
anyone
out the back?
going through there should definitely
I
stop
haven't
and
been
check
out
it
the back.
out.
No, I didn't go in the pub, I must admit.
Well, because you've just done another piece there.
Well, there's
haven't
stuff
you?
in the amazing beer garden they've been doing. So
Yeah. And obviously your work up here at the Exchange was another beer garden piece, and
the wild things, where the wild things are. Yeah. So
always sparks some interest. I think that's in our book.
Certainly is.
In the book. So, look, I think our beers are getting a bit low, and
I think
we might leave it there. But look, thanks again, guys. And
no worries.
we'll see where it takes us.
Not a problem. Look forward to the next.